Just shot my review for Godzilla and went to leave for work, and look what I found. What's shaking you guys? So I just seen Godzilla King of the Monsters a couple days ago. Figured I'd do a spoiler review. Without going into spoilers though, I give it an 8 out of 10, but they improved on things from the first Godzilla movie, but they also kind of went backwards with a few things, and I'll kind of get into that here in a few. But the movie was directed by Michael Daughtry, who also did Krampus, Trick or Treat, and he also did work with Bryan Singer on Superman Returns, X-Men 2, and X-Men Apocalypse. Um, he did a pretty good job directing it. Did better than the last guy, I thought personally, anyway, as far as how the monsters looked and stuff. I did like how in the last Godzilla movie though, when the monsters moved, it was right slow. But yeah, obviously from here on out, there's gonna be spoilers. Sorry. But yeah, the movie starring Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, who probably has one of the better performances of the movie. Vera Farmiga, Kyle Chandler, Charles Dance, who plays Tywin from Game of Thrones, and that Vera girl, she's from Bates Motel. Gotta say, I liked her more in Bates Motel. Kyle Chandler, him and Ken Watanabe, I find them two and Millie Bobby Brown steal the show. But other than that, there's no real crazy performances like Bryan Cranston in the first Godzilla. We don't quite get that in this, but they all do a pretty good job with what they're given, mind you. The score's by Bear McCreary, who did the main title for The Walking Dead, and I gotta say the score in this, I loved the score in the first movie, but oh my god, the score in this movie is just unreal. Just every time you see a monster, especially Godzilla, like pans up to Godzilla, just womp 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 womp. It sounds so epic. I loved it. The cinematography, it was shot so much better than Godzilla the first one. There was no cutaways or nothing. However, like the CGI in this movie looked beautiful, the monsters fighting looked beautiful, but there was a couple of shots where it was way too close to the face, and you couldn't, or the body, and you couldn't tell what was going on. And I didn't like that at all, really. And there was even some shots of underwater or in the clouds or behind water, just hiding it, to me, almost like a cheap way to show it or do it. To me, that's how it came off of. Maybe they're trying to hide it for the big reveal, but it just came off as cheap to me personally, which is another reason why it's rated 8 out of 10. But the monsters and Godzilla, we see so much more of Godzilla in this compared to the first one. That's another reason why I love this movie more than the first one. The first one was probably a better movie, but I just enjoyed this one more because all I really wanted out of the first one was Godzilla fighting stuff. And that's what I got out of this one. So I'm fairly satisfied. But yeah, the story is basically Godzilla and Ghidorah are fighting to be alpha male of Earth. And all the other monsters are awakening, kind of. Some of them, like Mothra and Rodan. Mothra's helping Godzilla, but Rodan's kind of getting in the way of everything. But a bunch of these monsters awaken, and the humans are kind of awakening them, and I didn't really like that element to the story. They could have. Charles Dance, he did okay. I liked his character. There's still a little bit of mystery there. But they kind of made Vera, the mother anyway, they made her be kind of a bad guy, and I didn't see the motive. It just felt like it was happening for the sake of the movie. It just, every time something happened with her, it just felt off. There's a scene where she's driving and Ghidorah's chasing her. It looks silly. Ghidorah should have caught her in one wing flap, and it drug on for a minute and a half, it felt like. But yeah, just stuff in the story, it just didn't feel right. It felt forced almost, and I didn't like that. But I did like the Godzilla element to the story and the monster element. So I don't know. It just, that's where the movie kind of fell short for me, was the story. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I liked it more than Godzilla 1. I think I rated Godzilla 1 7.5 out of 10. I give this one an 8 out of 10. If the story had been a little better and some of those shots were a little better, I probably would have given it more of a 9, 9.5. It's not a crazy epic. It is pretty epic, but it's not a drama movie or something that's going to win a bunch of awards. But I am curious to see. The post-credit scene is Ghidorah's head, so I don't know if that's going to be Mecha Ghidorah, if that's going to lead to Mecha Godzilla. I'd love to see it go there. But also, it says in the credits that all these monsters, after Godzilla eventually whips Ghidorah's ass, which is awesome. At the end, he has Ghidorah's head in his mouth, and he's like, whipping it around. For a second there, I thought Ghidorah was still alive, but then he just, in the first one, he breathes the fire down the Muto's mouth and just rips the head off. And this one, he blows the fire like up and out and launches it into space or something. I love that. And then this epic shot of Godzilla standing there with all these monsters around him looked friggin' nuts. But it said during the credits that all these monsters are actually heading to Skull Island, and there was a lot of nods to Kong in this, and I love that. Like, I love that this universe is kind of coming together. Don't know how well this movie's gonna do at the box office, but yeah, no, I loved it, and I can't wait to see where this franchise goes from here. I'm curious what you guys thought about it. Let me know in the comments below, and I'm probably gonna do Kong Skull Island. I already watched it. I'm kind of doing up my review. Maybe I'll try and get that up tomorrow. But I'll be doing that and some older Kong and Godzilla movies probably, and I'm not sure what else. Be a surprise to all of us, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Godzilla King of the Monsters, and where do you think the franchise is going to go after Kong versus Zilla, if it's going to go anywhere. Have a good day, guys. Take her easy.